Good day, lords and ladies, and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity with me, Cornish-Knight, as we press on into the campaign as we explore the tower in Heritage Hill. Let's see what we have. Let's snake.
Just
right,
say the word.
So
Hey.
Put him up here.
Just say the word.
Put her here.
Need something?
He can block.
What?
He can block. The fox can block.
Just say the word. I'm here.
She can get up here. Right, let's go.
Just say the word.
Okay, this is not going to be as easy as I'd hoped.
Hey.
Just say the word.
Right, okay. First things first, suit him. Attack that one. Attack that one. Get in there. Support. Attack that one. Kill him. Firing off another. Ooh, tiny revenant. Must be a dwarf or something. Come on, let's kill it. Right. So that one's dead as the proverbial dodo.
I'm on it.
Right. Tie it up as quickly as possible. Ooh, that's weird. I hope it comes back. Right, the forum's completed, that's excellent. God, this thing is really not going down. Ah, it did come back eventually.
Just say the word.
Right, so let's get that done. That was weird, like he hit it and it went flying off the map. I've never seen that happen
on it.
before. The scrolls contain pen and ink diagram of an agile device running through the tower. Despite copious measurements and careful drawing details, it gives no indication of the machine's purpose. Works of the Elf-Waffens, a comprehensive guide. Okay. Let's first clear this place out. Block them in before they can get out.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey. You're not. Yeah.
Attack.
My.
Yeah.
Right, so that's dead.
I'm on it.
Let's check out this door here. So what's this? Signal of the Arcane. Arcane Dampener. Once per rest. Intelligence rings are featured. Okay, this is a standard ring. And this letter from Icamp. Alto, I did indeed receive your recent summons, as well as the two that came before it. I've been waiting for you to present yourself on my doorstep so I could give you my answer to your person. A firm and unwavering no. I won't help you. In fact, I relish the idea of you and your team of glorified engineers sitting in that tower, sweating over the ruins I studied for years. Nothing gives me greater pleasure than knowing that my research, which you've long disparaged, is the missing piece in your mundane little puzzle. As you well know, it's knowledge I've always valued. I'm just around the corner. I encourage you to find me should you wish to rehearse this conversation in person.
Just say the
Well,
word.
I'm going to probably kill her anyway because he's a horrible blinking ghoul and deserves to get killed. Forwarded pages from Altem's journal. Day 10. Patrons grow impatient with the lack of quantifiable results. They should drag themselves out of their mansions and send a few knights here if they think it's so easy.
Not a problem.
Right, so what does it say? Pounding engine energy in the machine feels stronger, even stronger up here. That's the stairway up. Pages from Elham's journal. Day 11. Finally got out of the tower to clear our heads. Beasts take the patronage. We'll finish the study on our own terms. Just as I said, as much to Trigdig. The sky came to life with stray lightning. I said it's a good omen, but the poor lad spooked. Only a cure for that is a good night's sleep. Bit of money. Lot more money. Right. We need to clear out this tower. Get to the top of the tower at Headed Hill. Find the F-Weapon machine. Find out how the F-Weapon machine at Headed Hill works. At Helm.
Let's try this configuration. Still nothing. Confounded device.
Standing near the device feels like being blown about by a storm gale. The stone steps hum with energy. This is similar to the one we saw and turned us into what we are now. At helm, a man hunters over a strange machine, his spine a sharp ridge rising from his art's back. He's barely clothed in ragged, filthy rags, and a patch of his skin you see a mottled green, a spoiled stench emanates from him. He's so intent on his wit he doesn't notice you until the cellar falls over him. When he turns and sees you, he snarls and scuttles behind the agile pillar. Only his bare teeth seem to have escaped decay. His eyes are yellowed and bloodshot, but the flicker of intelligence. He averts his gaze and holds a hand in front of his face.
Shouldn't be here. What do you want?
Give me a reason not to cleave you in half.
I'm so close. I can figure it out. Reverse the mechanism. I just need time. Time and
He doubles over, coughing, and then he looks back at you, his teeth flash for a brief moment.
research. We came to do research on the tower. Some commission from gods. It hardly matters now.
The lips twist in disgust. If I had a copper skit for every fool animancer who thirst for knowledge led to a disaster, well, I'd never be ended up in Gilded Vale, that's for sure. Keep talking, Eldhelm. Stick to the present. When did this disaster start? Keep talking, Eldhelm.
Something happened on our 11th night. Lights in the sky and a static charge in the air. But we were so careful. We were staying in the chambers below. Trindig, my assistant, said he saw a robed figure lurking around the tower. Wore a mask. Carried knives at his sides. A trick of shadows, I told him. The next morning we felt strange. Like we hadn't eaten in weeks. So dazed that we didn't at first notice the blood around our beds. The strange wounds that had appeared overnight. And the machine. This cursed spire. Dormant for 2,000 years. lifeless through hundreds of our experiments, and we wake that morning to find it spinning on its own. On its own! How can we stop what we couldn't start? Years I've been doing this. Years. I know how these things work, but I don't know how this happened. Nowhere to go. That's the problem. Their souls are trapped here like flies in a jar, clinging to rotting meat.
Get to the point fast.
I am trying. I've studied contraptions like this for years, and still the most basic elements elude me.
He looks at you and runs his tongue along the edge of his fine, strong teeth. He quickly looks away.
It has the power to manipulate souls, but why? For what? And how many others lie buried in the ruins of Erglanfath? No. Focus on this one. It's imprisoned our souls in our bodies. Cut the root between essence and flesh. Left a dwindling soul stuck in a shriveling husk.
There's a stranger in the tower the night this happened.
I didn't see him. My assistant, he saw him. We laughed. Said he was spooked by the cemetery. Perhaps it was already too late. I don't know what he did. But by morning the machine was on and we were slain. People were already on the streets, complaining of neighbors and family members acting strangely.
One moment, folks. And we're back. Right. You're not like the ghouls in the street.
Not yet. But I will be. My body is dead. My soul, imprisoned in this corpse, only makes it seem otherwise. And as the body decays, so does the mind. Until nothing is left but the hunger. The only way to forestall the process is through a regular infusion of essence. Living flesh is the only ready supply. I'm not proud of any of it. Hunting men and women in the early days of the affliction. Picking off soldiers that came to investigate. But I'd do it again. I'll do it as long as I must to end this disaster.
Hiravis growls in his hands-borne fist. To think my clan has the temerity to accuse me of being a soul-rending monster when an act of such monsters walk the face of Werwolf.
You could help. Help me end this. Help me find sustenance.
What happened to the rest of your team?
By the time I realized what had happened, the district had already been sealed. So we fed when we needed, and locked ourselves in the tower to work. And then there came a time when the hunger struck. And there was hardly anyone left.
How can I help?
Not your help I need. It's Heritage Shrew. Squanders her research on frivolities, then refuses to make herself useful. Runes. The runes are the last part of the puzzle. Acantha knows them. She gives them to you, and you can turn the machine off. Release our souls.
She wasn't here the night the machine came on, staying with her patron somewhere near. Too good to be burdened with our ignorant company. If Incath knows the control words, then I don't see why I need your help.
Help. I help you. Yes. You bring me the words and something to keep me strong. Then I show you a secret about the machine. Something to make you strong. Acantha was here. In Heritage Hill. Must be here still. Clever lady, that one.
Will he accept Durance?
Say the word.
Right, so... A Adra pillar rises from in front of you, encased in stonework. Unintelligible runes cover the panel. A sunburst copper frame. A sunburst of copper filaments surround the dial. It looks to be twice the size of a hen's egg. The filaments cross and diverge, ending in a bead-shaped nodules. Each wire has a point of origin somewhere over the edge of the dial. Runes are inscribed on the dial. Right, so we need to
Just
get...
say the word.
Not everyone. Proceed to the bottom. And this is honest, once his work is done, I'll just kill him.
Just say the
Get it
word.
over and done with. And we know this. We suspect this is probably the Leaden Keys work. That they snuck someone in because they seem to be going after animancers to discredit their work and keep something secret. They seem to be in bed with Woodica, so it may have something to do with her, maybe something to do with the gods. But we will not know until we finish the work. We know she's up here, though. Right, time to confront her. If not, we'll just have to punch her in her face repeatedly. Yeah, that's her.
Just say the word.
Let's go and talk to the hag.
You return. What if you come seeking?
I need the words that operate the weapon machine in the tower.
That fool Aldham. He sent you, didn't he? I can hardly believe he's had the cleverness to survive. That simpleton thinks he can understand how to use something without understanding what it is, or why it is.
You feel a hot core of pride smouldering at the center of her soul.
He dabbles with ancient and powerful devices, with all the finesse of a blacksmith. He sends you here to petition me for aid after years of disparaging my research. I bet he didn't even tell you the tower's name, did he? That's his problem. Always looking for solutions without caring for meaning.
The problems inherited chill are bigger than your rivalry, Ivkampf. Humble Adhelm now by demonstrating your value of your research. Tell me the tower's name.
Ternuneth. It's called Ternuneth. They built the machine atop it to contain souls, hold them in place. But the others I've seen, machines scattered all over the Deerwood, are relays, built to move souls.
Why would the Ithwaffans have wanted to tether souls like this?
Perhaps they didn't. Perhaps that's why they built no other machines like this one. We now see the Engwithans as masters of soul manipulation, but they couldn't have attained their expertise without copious trial and error. Perhaps this was one such experiment.
You seem to know a lot about Tyr Nueth.
I read the runes like a journal. I understand their meaning. People like Aldhelm try to read them like instructions, and in so doing, they miss their true meaning completely.
Where would they move souls?
Another mystery. Hypothetically, anywhere they wished. The real question, as always, is why? To intermix them the way a player shuffles his deck, the way a farmer rotates his fields? To collect them, like butterflies under glass? To melt them down for raw essence? Unfortunately, I don't know.
How do you operate the machine atop Tyr Nueth?
Back to these tinkers' concerns. And what would you do with these tethered souls if I told you?
I'd release them, I'd harvest them for the essence, I'd destroy them, I would release them.
So you say. And just what would you release them to? They'd abandon their existence here for another somewhere else, equally aimless and meaningless.
what could possibly be more meaningless an existence than their current predicament. Maybe not even Will knows what would become of them, but it'd be wrong not to give the souls a chance to leave their prison. I could help you, but I won't. The pride lodged in the soul flares up, twisting in the shape of something that writhes and squeals within her. Here, I have specimens aplenty and time enough to observe them. If every scientist dream, the answer is no. Extinguish Inkef's pride. You're dead. Why does this matter? The fate of those trapped souls is more important. Extinguish Inkef's pride. The vampire doesn't seem to notice you wrap your mind around the squealing, burning mass. However, it sears your bones. You jump back, crying out in pain. I won't abandon this opportunity. The souls remain here with me, and I'll accomplish more than any animator in history of the field. And who will know about it? Hoarding knowledge is pointless. You can't leave those souls imprisoned. Hoarding knowledge is pointless. A burning thing roars to life. Nothing is more important. We gather and study, and through its transcendence, 1,000 insectoid lives that brought it to us. And who will know about it? And you cannot leave those souls imprisoned. And who will stop me? Only I understand the control works. The control's words for Tafnuif. So yes, I can. Her pride blazes. And who will know about it? The pride thing flickers at the flames around it bait. All I've learned years of study, the Ifwaffen legend language, no one understands it better than me. That counts for something. Your opportunities here are finite. One day that knowledge will die with you. The pride hisses and sputters. It's a little more than an ember now. You're wrong, but the no conviction in the words. I'll build it forever. I'll cling to it. That will give me something. Extinguish Incamp's pride. You reach for it, but it's still too hot to grasp in your mind for more than a second. It may not be much, but it's still something. I can take that away from you. Can't take that away from me. Will that really be enough for you? You counter. The dying cinder clings to life. It will. It must be. Teach me what you know. I'll make sure that it grows and your legacy lives on. Your final words finally quench her pride. On all that remains is a blackened diamond hard rock. You cast it away, where it melts into darkness.
So be it. My studies and efforts shall grow through yours. These are the words you need.
Her cold, dry fingers rest on your temples, and you feel her reaching to your mind, forming images from the darkness. Runes flash through your head, but they're no longer just pictures. They have a meaning, and you understand them. They're commands. Something triggers in your mind, a distant memory of unearthed from a past life long since buried. You can see a vast race of runes, far more than Inkef has shown you, and you know their sound and their meaning, and they fit together the language of Efwaffin once more at your command.
Something has awakened in your mind. You understand far more than I ever did. Take this knowledge, then, and do what you will with Ter Nuneth. Now that you understand its purpose, it will serve you in whatever way you wish.
Certainly. What do I do with the tower now that I know these words? You said that the other towers around Deerwood were constructed to move souls. Why would the Efwaffens want to do that? Another mystery. Hypothetically, anywhere they wish. The real question, as always, is why. Okay, that's the same one. What do I do with the tower now that I know these words?
Turn it off, I expect. That will be easy now that you can read the runes. The vessels would still roam, but striking them down would return their essence to the cycle. But be careful. That machine controls hundreds of souls, and that volume of essence could easily overload it. Improperly channeling the essence would destroy the machine along with the souls. It would be a terrible loss for posterity.
Haraf turns to you. So that's what she's saying is, he whispered, we could use the time-honoured tactics of negligence to destroy this contraption and prevent further ensnarement of souls. His face contorts into a frown. Still, it seemed a wretched deed to have sacrificed those trapped within the device that deserve a better fate. I still don't understand why the Wrathwind would want to build a machine that tethers souls. Perhaps they didn't. Perhaps they built... Okay, that's the same thing. Siri knows about the tower. Explains to me how the controls work. Harness the power to know if... to is about understanding what it is you wish designed it to do. You know the words and their meanings, you can speak them, and the tower shall obey. That's all, thank you. I wish we could kill her, because she's literally, like, one of the most horrific things I've ever seen. She's basically a vampire, or maybe... I don't even think she's a vampire. I think she's basically become like a fully functional ghoul. Or maybe she is a vampire, I'm not sure. She could be a zombie with self-awareness. I mean, that could happen. She could literally be a zombie with self-awareness. If that's the case, I might just kill her on principle. The thing is, I don't really want to leave this machine functioning, because obviously the Leyden key got to it once before and turned it on. So I'd rather just blow it up. See to the top. Well, if we destroy it, we just destroy it. Well, it's worth it.
Just say the word.
Our home looks more worse than before. His rotted flesh hangs loose and sores have eaten away patches of his skin at this joint. He looks at you with a strange glimmer in his eyes. He takes a tentative scuttled step towards you. He doubles over, coughing like strings of black bile. He seems to have forgotten you for the moment. Okay. He's still up. Let's kill him. Oh. Hold on 1 second, folks. Sorry about that, folks. The phone did command me to answer. Right, so we killed him. The form was constructed. Excellent. With that done. Chapel. We'll probably get the chapel done as well. Take a couple of days.
Yeah.
Adham's journal. I and Catherine insist on pursuing her own research on the tower, despite my arguments that pooling our knowledge is both our interest. With her expertise and with her language, I'm convinced that she knows more about the tower's workings than she lets on. Right. A jagged adra pile rises in front of you, encased in stonework and run through with copper veins. The panel is covered with runes, which you can now understand. You recognise the words end and hold. The dial is currently fixed on hold. You recognise by an inscription that the manner in which you turn the dial, it means the throttling of the device. Maximise the machine's throttle to hopes of overloading the device. Muttering a command, you give the dial a violent twist. The move spins up. The moving spires move up faster and faster, wobbling from its axis. The light filling the machine quickly becomes too bright to behold. You look away and cover your ears, but the thunderous crash that follows shakes the floor beneath you. When you look back, the machine is in ruins, never to be used again. Right, so he blew up the machine.
Just say the word.
And that should stop it from working again. Also, to stop the leaden key from doing whatever they wanted to do with it. Okay. He says proceed to the bottom. I want to see how she reacts if everybody's basically dead in there, more people off. I wasn't going to leave it functioning. It would have been interesting to see what would happen if we had just like left it going. He might have been able to infuse us, but well. No, we turned the machine off so there's nobody else it can do. I'm just going to quickly run back to the ghoulish woman and see how she responds. Maybe we can kill her. I hope we can kill her. I don't know, she's like the worst kind of evil because she's basically calculating evil. Like she had people locked in her basement that she was eating slowly to continue her basically her existence. Is she still here? Apparently not. She's vanished. Okay. Nah, good riddance. Right. Right, travel to Deerford Village. That's our next objective, but we'll do that next time, folks. If you have liked, please press the like button. If you wish to subscribe, please press the subscription button. You can follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Steam, or you can look me up in the comment section. I've been Cornish-Knight, this has been Pillars of Eternity, and I shall see you all next time. Goodbye, folks.